See on ESPN, it's a Big 8 flashback and Big 8 weather today. It's snowy, chilly, Columbia, Missouri, and these longtime rivals meet again on the hardwood, first of two this season between Oklahoma and Mizzou. Welcome courtside, everybody. Tom Hart alongside John Sunvold. You know this rivalry well. It probably peaked in the Big 8 and Big 12, but it goes all the way back to early 1900s in the Missouri Valley.
It does, and you go on streaks. Last year, both teams won on their home court. Porter Moser came up, talked to us last night that I think we can get one, but we've got to shoot the ball better.
Well, it's an Oklahoma team trying to snap a 5-game losing streak, a very talented backcourt, and that's where our Star Watch begins today with Oklahoma's sensational Xavier Brown.
Xavier Brown's been on a roll, solid. You see the last 3 games, 7 of his last 10. He's scored over 20 points. He's been terrific. He's got to have teammates come along with him. And Mark Mitchell, solid, consistent, night in, night out. The only thing the coaching staff would like Mark Mitchell to do is maybe rebound at a little higher pace.
Missouri has simplified some things offensively. We'll see if that results in a better performance today. Tigers coming off of a heartbreaking loss to Georgia. Oklahoma, meanwhile, fell behind 11-0 on Tuesday at South Carolina. Never recovered, never led, and lost 85-76. Here's Nigel Pack. Gives it up to Davis, and Davis has it rejected. And Missouri coming the other way. Here's the starting lineup for the Tigers. T.O. Barrett gets his first career start at point guard. Anthony Robinson will start this game on the bench. When we were here for the Georgia game, Dennis Gates said, I'm not motivated to make big changes to the lineup right now, but Barrett has certainly been playing well enough to earn the opportunity.
And Barrett's been terrific, and they're just trying to get Ant Robinson to play well. That simply stated has not played like he normally plays.
Phillips blew up the lob. It's the same starting 5 for Oklahoma for all 20 games this season.
A very rare occurrence in the game of college basketball.
Corner 3 rims out. Phillips, coming off of a good game against Georgia, has the board.
Keep an eye on the matchups. Brown on Stone. We know Stone is a terrific scorer, not only shooting the ball, but getting to the rim.
What's Oklahoma's weakness defensively?
Well, they've been pretty solid defensively. The one thing they want to do, Tom, they've got to rebound the ball better. They've been out-rebounded last 3 ball games.
They've been hurt by true 5-man and power centers. Cruz off the mark, and that comes to roost here as Phillips grabs the offensive board and puts it back. He is a true 5-man, doesn't have a single field goal attempt outside of 10 feet.
And has played well the last couple games, played well at LSU and did fine against Georgia.
10 points on 6 of 8 shooting. The well-traveled Nigel Pack can't knock down the mid-range. And here's Stone. Sooners made it to Columbia just fine. Getting back to Norman may be a bit more of a challenge, but they're in the building last night. Test the rims, get the blood going, try to warm up a little bit. Barrett has another offensive board for Mizzou. Phillips in the paint, jams it home.
Power and strength. We talked about Oklahoma not rebounding the ball. Second chance opportunity by T.O. Barrett. And then Phillips simply went to work. No double team, no help out, no dig back from even like a guard trying to make Phillips pick the ball up early.
There have been 5 rebounding opportunities in this game so far. Missouri has all 5. Sidewinder rims out. Ilyasantsev in the game early for Oklahoma. Number 15 in crimson. Offers a couple of screens. Here's Brown, guarded by Barrett. And another handoff from Ilyasantsev. Gets it right back. He's only taken 9 threes this season. He just joined the team at the semester break.
And the one thing, Missouri defensively, they'll take ball fakes at times. See if Oklahoma will try to get them off their feet, either drive them or get them into the shot line for free throws.
That foul was on Phillips. Drive and kick for a corner 3, and that one's good for Oklahoma. And Xavier Brown.
And terrific back screen by Tay Davis, who then freed up his man Brown in the corner.
Xavier Brown, 34% three-point shooter, but oddly enough, not great from the corners. So rare make there.
Cruz wanting to post up, Pack inside. Good defense.
And Porter Moser was aware that was going to come. Missouri ran that to perfection against Florida's small backcourt earlier this season.
Tough angle to make the pass. Barrett's got to take one dribble to the side, maybe a better angle.
Moser hired in April of 21 following Lon Kruger into Norman. Took Loyola to the Final Four in 2018. Into the Sweet 16 3 years later. Stone contested three. Rise of fire.
Good assist by Mark Mitchell. You will not see Mitchell pass up many at 4 feet to kick it to a teammate, but he did. Well executed.
Better than 3 assists a game for Mitchell. And that one uses every bit of the rim. Phillips trying to post. They skip it the other way. Now Mitchell behind Cruz. Mitchell off the glass and in. And Reed caught an elbow. Thank you, Kevin. We welcome those of you who just watched North Carolina pick up a win in snowy Charlottesville over Virginia in a ranked matchup. Here at Mizzou Arena, continuation of a long rivalry, 215th meeting between Oklahoma and Missouri. Tom Hart alongside John Sunvold. Tigers off to a quick start in this one, and right before you joined us on ESPN2, Darion Reed caught an elbow on a Mitchell layup, and he's got to head to the bench for OU.
Tom, solid start by both teams. Missouri's been good offensively. A couple second chance opportunities by offensive rebounds. Oklahoma has to shore that up. Sooners have been solid on the offensive end so far.
Missouri has dominated the glass early on. Brown, offensive foul. Moser not happy about that one at all. So that'll send us to the under 16 timeout with Missouri with a 3-point lead.
Solid defense by T.O. Barrett, getting his first start of his career.
So welcome courtside. Tom Hart alongside John Sunvold. You know this rivalry well, and it's kind of fun that we got Big 8 weather today here in Columbia with temperatures in the single digits. We've seen great players, great coaches in the history of this rivalry.
You know what, when I think of Oklahoma, and I grew up in the Midwest, I think of the one-name guys, right? Alvin Adams played, so it was Alvin, and then Wayman, and then Hollis or Blake or Trey
Stacy
or Buddy. Yeah, I mean, a bunch of them. The Missouri guys was all his last name. Brown, Eberhard, Stepanovic, Chivas. I mean, it's really kind of fun when these two teams, you go back the history of them. But I mean, currently, when you get these teams together, a year ago, these two teams split on their home court.
Yep.
And made it pretty good. But they've had some great battles in the past.
But together from the Missouri Valley, starting in 19 to every iteration, Big 6 to the Big 12. And then after Missouri left for the SEC, Oklahoma came aboard last year. One of the things that Porter Moser talked about in regard to the series last year was Mark Mitchell getting the free throw line. You see the history between these two, and Oklahoma has won 4 of the last 5, but Missouri has dominated it here in Columbia, whether that be Mizzou Arena or Hearn Center or Brewer or every other place they played here in Columbia. In fact, Tigers have won 7 in a row at home, 6 at Mizzou Arena. What does Oklahoma need to do defensively against Missouri's very versatile Mark Mitchell, who gives him 17 points and 3 assists per game?
Well, 2 things. First of all, you got to shore up when you guard Mitchell. Don't reach, don't foul. That's the first. Second part, they've got to rebound better than they have the last few ball games. Third, and Porter Moser told us yesterday, their 5-man has to be better defensively. Now, that's not necessarily guard Mark Mitchell, but every 5-man that has played against Oklahoma in the 5-game loss have gone on to have huge games.
Sooners have a very talented backcourt. Not a ton of depth for Moser's team, but how do Pack and Brown, among others, make OU go?
I saw them win their first SEC game, first game against Ole Miss. I thought Brown and Pack might be the best backcourt in the SEC this season. Now, what hasn't happened? Xavier Brown has been terrific. Nigel Pack has not shot the ball well. This is a guy that's had over 2,000 points in his career. He will figure out his shooting. but he's only 3 of his last 19. So we'll go back. Pack and Brown have not played together well on a ball game when you get into the SEC play, and they've got to have that.
Pack is second among all college basketball players in active players, a career threes made. But to your point, that trend goes back the last 3 games, and he was 0 for 7 from deep in the loss against South Carolina. Oklahoma went just 1 for 13 from 3 in that South Carolina game in the second half. Well-traveled Nigel Pack. He was an all-Big 12 performer at Kansas State his second year, 17 points a game, made the jump to Miami, went to a Final Four.
Went to the Final Four. I think he's the first player in the modern NIL world to get his bag, so to speak.
Yeah.
He was a K-State all-league player, and Daddy Warbucks down in Coral Gables, Florida, decided that's who we need, that's who we want. They got him. He got up to a Final Four. Now in his 6th season, he was injured most of last year at Miami.
So coming back out at Missouri out of the timeout. Tigers have out-rebounded Oklahoma 5-1 early. Here's Stone, and he has been a revelation since about Christmas time.
Well, Stone is a scorer, averaged 21 a game at Detroit Mercy. Now last year he went to West Virginia, was injured. He arrived here, he was terrific in the pre-conference games, then he got hurt, got back in SEC play, could shoot it, can take it to the rim. He is an outstanding rebounder. He leads his team in SEC play in rebounding.
Ilyasov gives it up. Shot clock will get into single digits.
You got to stay close to Pack because he'll make deep threes.
And from the left wing, Blanco throws in his first 3.
Another guy that Sooners would like for his jump shot to go down. Nice to get one to start the game.
Oklahoma came in at 34% from deep, making 9.5 per game. Cruz on Pack.
Smart play by Cruz. Great double team.
And Ilyasov with the steal, then a midcourt shove from Nick Randall.
Ball movement, body movement, always the keys on the offensive end. And when you have 2 guys out front like Brown and Pack, all you have to do as teammates is space out and find some openings. Second part is you have to deliver and make the shot. That time Pack put it right on the money. We know Nigel Pack from a scouting report will draw a lot of attention from a defensive team. So if you're offensive, you got to play as a teammate off him, find some openings.
Good to see Dayton Forsythe back on the floor for Oklahoma, guarded by Ant Robinson off the bench for the first time. Forsythe, the shooter, left that one short.
Forsythe has been battling bad ankles, both of them. He has struggled with that for really almost a month. Got away with a carry, Stone did.
And he's able to finish.
Did I mention he's a scorer?
Yep.
Wide variety of things.
He led the conference in usage when he was at Detroit Mercy. He told me earlier this season, it's nice to be on a good team where you don't have to take every shot because in many ways you start taking bad shots.
And the other part of that, Tom, is you can play off great players like Mark Mitchell, Trent Pierce when he comes in, Cruz. You can play off of guys. It allows you to find more openings to score.
Tigers have made each of their last 5. There's Pierce offering the screen for Mitchell.
Good
to
pass.
Robinson. In and out. Followed by Mitchell. Left it short. Pierce tracks it down. Stone again. Another offensive rebound for Mizzou. And Stone will take a trip to the free throw line.
When you're on the road and you have to rebound, you can't run at a shooter like Darion Reed did and then just keep going. You may run at a shooter, but you got to get back in play. Reed was at half court. His teammates battling for a ball. You've got to have 5 jerseys around that basketball to try to rebound, especially when you get on the road.
Stone from Perth, Australia, started his career at Grand Canyon, then Detroit Mercy. He didn't play for West Virginia. He was on the team, suffered a concussion before the games began and never got on the court.
Not surprising. When I talked to him at the Ole Miss game and we talked about his athletic ability, he was a track guy when he was young. 100 meters, 200 meters, long jump, triple jump, high jump. And so when you watch him play, you can tell his athletic ability at 6'5". That's why he rebounds well. He elevates on the jump shot. He ball fakes. He takes it to the rim.
Dennis Gates in his time at Missouri has been at his best when he's had a shooter to spread the floor. You mentioned Stone's more of a scorer than shooter, but he can certainly knock him down. Limited time this season, 43% from deep.
And you mentioned Dennis Gates. They've got shooters on this squad. If they're shooting it well, they're a tough team to beat. You put Pierce and you put Cruz out there and Stone at the same time. 3 guys can all knock in longer.
Stone has the last 6 for Mizzou. Here's Brown, harassed by Robinson, who steals it away. Picked his pocket clean and couldn't finish the layup. Mitchell is there to power it up. Falls off again, and they'll count that as goaltending. Incredible effort by Missouri on the offensive glass.
Xavier Brown is good with the basketball, but you can't play with the ball in front of Ant Robinson. Robinson, one of the best, if not the best on-ball defender in the SEC, simply took it away from Brown. Brown, the transfer from St. Joe, is a terrific, terrific point guard.
Grew up in Philadelphia, played at Roman Catholic, led them to the 23 Philadelphia Catholic League title. Porter Moser fired up, and he is in Anthony Jordan's face after that illegal screen. Charged the Wagee. So
what he's upset about is he feels that they're allowing Ant Robinson to grab hold a little bit on Brown out front, controlling him, which is what Robinson's very good at. If you're Brown, you can't sit on your dribble. You got to get off it and move more quickly into the screens and make Robinson move more than let him control you.
This is a pivotal home game for Missouri, and it's NCAA tournament at large chances. Lost at home to Georgia in the midweek, and this game carries a lot of weight for both sides. Oklahoma trying to snap a 5-game losing streak, and Missouri trying to protect the home court. And 11-game home court win streak snapped against Georgia. Joe Lindsey gets Robinson. Funny, listen to Dennis Gates address the media yesterday. He was asked about officiating, and he took the high road in many ways, though he's been frustrated by it. He said, I just wish we had a button over by the bench, and every time I saw something, I could hit it and challenge it just by hitting the button.
We'd be here like 3 or 4 hours.
I think so. We'd never make it to G&D if we're here that long.
I do like what Elia Tanta has brought for the Sooners. He's a higher screener and popper, and then defensively he's been more active around the rim, getting rebounds.
Barrett is all over Elia Tanta. Here's Jones for 3, and he gets it to go.
Jadon Jones, another guy who has not had the jump shot going as of late, but you saw right there, capable of making shots. Outstanding defender on the defensive end.
Lob inside. Elia Tanta has played great post defense. Knocked that one away for Reed now. I think maybe Elia Tanta is so comfortable today because it's 4 degrees out. He's from Siberia. Here's Reed.
Do you suppose he walked to the arena from downtown?
Shirtless. Missouri with a 3-point lead midway through the first half in Columbia. In the morning, and the wind is taking it to 20 below. Here in Columbia, we're at 2.
Partner, we would need some vodka. 20 below.
I bet that he's got some awfully warm coats back home. They might need them in Norman. They're supposed to get hammered with snow throughout the day today and tomorrow.
You kind of wonder when a young Russian guy comes to Norman, Oklahoma. And I asked Porter Moser yesterday, I said, does he come by himself? You know what? He brought his wife, which is great. Because I'm thinking you've got to have somebody that comes with you to figure out what this world's all about.
Second one for Reed. Gets it to go, and he's got 1 point so far tonight, and Oklahoma's going to put the press on. You think she was excited to leave Siberia?
Well, you know what? Norman's a little warmer.
Robinson and Barrett share in the backcourt.
A little 2-2-1, soft token pressure that runs the clock down just enough.
Oklahoma's been a good defensive team over the course of the season. Whether zone or man, the numbers come out similar.
This is not the best outside shooting team that Missouri has in lineup, except for Trent Pierce in the right corner.
Robinson gets tied up. It'll be a jump ball. Good D by Nigel Pack.
And Pack's been around the block, understands how to play on the defensive end.
Well, we got more college basketball coming your way. TCU at Baylor at 6 o'clock Eastern, and then SEC showdown. Tennessee has fallen out of the rankings for the first time in 90 weeks. Volunteers on the road against Alabama. That seems to be the game of the day in college basketball. Here's Mitchell, And a foul tip from Phillips, no good. We'll wait and see if Charles Bediako gets on the floor for the Crimson Tide tonight.
Interesting. Good catch there.
Yeah, Thompson lost the handle. Mitchell leading the break for Mizzou. He's a lefty, goes with his right, and gets fouled.
Mitchell's hard to defend when he gets out front by himself. No matter what you're doing, you're backpedaling as a defender. And what Mitchell does is he half Euros his way down from half court. Good save by T.O. Barrett. And then when Mitchell's here, he doesn't come in straight lines. He crosses you and makes you try to see if you can stay in front of him. Shoots a lot of free throws, Mark Mitchell does.
And in their matchup last year, he was able to go to the free throw line with regularity in the game here at Mizzou Arena. Had a harder time getting there in Norman. 18 free throw attempts in February of last year, only 5 in the game in Norman in March. And Porter Moser said it wasn't just him. It's because I felt like Missouri was in the bonus by my first media timeout. Another one for Mitchell. Started his career at Duke. High school in Kansas City at Bishop Miege. They've had some great players over the years.
Yeah, Mark Pyle, one of the great athletes from Miege. Played overseas. Vevey, Switzerland is where he made his mark. That's on the northeastern side of Lake Geneva. Just down from Montreux. Deep Purple did a song there.
That is a deep cut. Here's Reed working on Mitchell. Xavier Brown, 5 to shoot. Brown downhill with the left, and against the former Sooner, gets fouled by Luke Northweather.
So Clay Custer, one of the assistant coaches for Oklahoma, Missouri Valley Player of the Year years ago, 2018, took Loyola Chicago to the Final Four. He's an assistant for Porter Moser. Talking to him before the game, I said, what's your biggest concern about Missouri? He said they're so physical on the defensive end. Not only with their body, their hands, their feet. When we run offense, our guys have to be able to handle contact, play through that, see if they can get a whistle to blow, but you got to concentrate on your shots.
Xavier Brown at the free throw line. There's your buddy.
Look at Custer, great player from Blue Valley Northwest in Kansas City, Kansas. Ed Fritz was legendary coach back in the day.
I heard over that side of the state they shoot on smaller rims.
Shorter, maybe. They can dunk better.
Brown leads the SEC in free throw percentage, 10th in the country, just a tick under 93%. And he's on quite the tear lately. He's hit the 20-point mark in 7 of the last 10, and that includes 4 of their 6 conference games.
And what the Oklahoma coaches would love is if Brown and Pack just played a terrific game together. Each of them have a good game.
Stone got tied up with Wonko. Commits his first. 15th foul on Oklahoma. Here's Northweather. 2 years at Oklahoma for a guy who grew up in mid-Missouri, just about 30 miles down the road in Jefferson City. Pierce jump hook not there. Follows it up and got stripped by Brown.
Good hands, and now you have numbers if you push. See if you can advance the ball by passing, not by bounce.
They won't go, but a foul on the 3. Jadon Jones has been fouled shooting a 3 10 times this season. Is that a skill or that just happenstance?
By my observation, Jadon Jones, when he jumps about 3 feet forward. So if you're defending him and you come out to defend Jones on the jump shot, Tommy, you cannot come straight on because he's going to land on you. He literally, when he shoots in warm-ups, it's about a 3-foot jump forward. So he's going to get contact on the landing, which is what officials look for.
Do you think he gets the benefit of the doubt because he does out on every jump shot as opposed to seeking contact randomly?
He does it because that's his natural shot, and I'm not sure officials, and I'm not trying to get a ruling on this, but I'm not sure officials see that. I see it because I've watched him warm up, and I go, that's quite a jump forward.
Yeah.
And I know how guys close out. If you close straight out on them, you're in trouble. You got to close out on the side with a hand in the shot line.
Played at Long Beach State. The defensive player of the year in the Big West Conference and took him to the NCAA tournament. We're tied at 19 for the first time. Sooners haven't led this game.
And again, the 2-2-1 token pressure is just to get the shot clock to go down and let Missouri have less time to get into something offensively. Buzz Williams used to do that all the time at Texas A&M.
Tigers a little sluggish on the offensive end, just 1 for their last 8. Here's Robinson, 6 on the shot clock. Step back 3 off the front of the rim. Stone kept it alive, but Oklahoma tracks it down. It's Jones. Neither one of these teams really breaks any records when it comes to pace.
No, Missouri's much slower than they were a year ago. Oklahoma will run when they can because you got Brown and Pack who like to get out. And really, the most open shot sometimes for teams that have shooters, either squad, is if you get out, maybe find the defense that doesn't get back.
Missouri held the nation's leading scoring team, Georgia, to 24 points below their average last time out as Barrett earns a trip to the free throw line and an and one.
We watched T.O. Barrett, the progression from last year to this year, now sophomore season. Averaging about 28 minutes a game the last 3 games. And what we have found out, he has no problem getting his dribble and his body to the paint. He's physical, he's strong. He doesn't look to shoot a lot, but he's been consistent when he goes to the foul line 85%.
He just made you look bad.
Yeah, I figured.
Come on. So here's Brown, 3 straight 20-point games, and he's off to a good start here today.
And a guy that can score all 3 levels. Good jump shooter, mid-range, and he can get to the rim.
Tay Davis playing sick. He won a shoot-around last night under the weather. Stayed back at the hotel.
So think about Tay Davis at 6'9", the transfer from Notre Dame. Porter Moser can use him as a point guard, another guy that can handle the ball. They can run him on pick and rolls with the ball. That frees up their shooter.
Barrett, nice screen, is able to finish with the reverse.
Missouri matchup zone defense.
Jones will screen Barrett. No, he won't. Reed goes right at Northweather and draws the foul. And one coming.
Took a while to get into the set. Coaches were yelling. What they want to do is get into Darion Reed and see if he could go one-on-one with the former Sooner. He did.
And Northweather picks up his 2nd personal foul. So the Sooners have turned it up offensively. We're tied at 23 as Oklahoma has made each of its last 4 field goal attempts. Trip to the line coming up next. Offensive production has dipped. Turnovers have gone up. But interesting talking to you about, you feel like this is still a really good team, even though the results maybe haven't shown it.
Yeah, and I think conference play, Tom, in these big power leagues does this to you at times. You're going to have losing streaks. And you might think you can't figure it out. Well, it's pretty simple when you look at this. They do turn over the ball more than they were early on, and they just have not gotten the guys to make shots that are normally making shots. I go back to Nigel Pack. He has scored over 2,000 points in his collegiate career. Just struggling to get the ball to get in the basket.
Oklahoma out in front by 3, and Stone left it short.
Yeah, nice set play from Dennis Gates out of the timeout. Stone got a good look. But even like Brown did not turn it over much pre-SEC play. Has got a little sloppy with the basketball.
Forsythe from the corner gives it up. And an air ball from top of the key. But
I was going to say it's either blocked or he hit his arm. It probably looked like it might have been part of the arm, but
Anthony Jordan said it was tipped.
Latanza, that's what he brings. He can step out. He's bringing Phillips away from the basket.
Sooners announced that he was joining the program a few days after Christmas. And talked with Coach Moser about that last night. He said, we found out that he was available via Twitter for to shoot. And here's Brown, turnaround 3 off the side of the backboard. Mizzou comes out of there. To Cruz in the corner. And Latanza with the rebound. And stolen by Stone. Pardon me, by Barrett. Forsythe then fouls him, and Barrett going to the line. T.O. Barrett with the interception turns it into points, and one more coming.
Barrett with the physicality, but the mistake by Dayton Forsythe. Sometimes you get too caught up in trying to get it to a guard when you can bring it yourself. Don't even try that pass. Good body control by Barrett, but Forsythe is a point guard. Just bring the ball. Don't always look for someone else. The physicality of T.O. Barrett kind of looks like a defensive back that would be recruited by this Missouri football squad.
He's from Edmond North, Oklahoma City native. His mom was a soccer star for OU. Barrett's the only Tiger that scored over the last 5 minutes. He's got 7 points in that span. No, Sooners have made 5 of 7. From the corner, and that's good by Reed. He shoots 44% from behind the arc in the corners. Did you ever have a favorite spot or just any spot? I'd love to know how shooters find their comfort spot on the floor.
My comfort was more on the move, moving left. So it didn't really matter, but if I was moving left, comfort level, because I didn't have to square up my feet, open the right shoulder, I could go either, but going left was always, whether it was coming off wing, coming with baseline, didn't matter.
Reed much better in the corners than he is top or on the wings, and that one was halfway home. Stone, another takeaway. Or pardon me, Barrett.
Now, Darion Reed is a big-time talent. McDonald's All-American, played at Alabama. Has been pretty solid for this Oklahoma team. The only bad game he had in league play against Florida when he had the flu.
Turned in a double-double against A&M, 19 and 11 for his first, as Nigel Brown commits the foul. 4 points and 3 boards against Florida. The numbers, if you take Florida out, the rest against league opponents, he's giving you 13 and 7. Exactly what he had against South Carolina last time out. Mark Mitchell at the free throw line. Started his college career at Duke, 2 years at Duke, 67 starts. He was on a team that went to the Elite Eight and won the ACC tournament.
And you can repeat that, 67 starts his first 2 years at Duke. Tells you a lot about who he is, what kind of player. And I've discussed, I think he's the most consistent, good player in the SEC. Night in, night out, he's going to get his numbers. Mike White of Georgia said to me, you know, when he has a bad game, it's still 16 and 6 or 16 and 5.
19 points in the McDonald's All-America game coming out of high school in Kansas City. Tight one back and forth after Oklahoma got off to a slow start. Sooners clinging to a 1-point lead.
Got to back up if you're Oklahoma. Allow Pack to take the big man off the dribble.
Forsythe has it rimmed out. 2-on-2 break. Barrett goes against Forsythe. Reverses it off the glass.
Absolutely can see this young man's confidence. Game in, game out. Now he's doing it on the offensive end. Off the bounce to the rim.
First career start for Missouri today. Pack over Cruz. Got it. That's a great sound, isn't it?
How do you, when you're struggling shooting and you settle for that one? That's a shooter, though.
5'10" over 6'6".
And that was so deep. All net.
Barrett and Mitchell have scored the last 15 combined for Mizzou. Here's Stone. Into traffic. Got denied and stuck with it.
Not much resistance from the Sooners at the rim for Missouri. They're getting a lot of points in the paint.
Davis may have had that one touched by Stone on the way up. Mitchell attacks. Forsythe the rebound. Oklahoma the other way. 4-on-3. Yelatonsiv fouled by Randall. And that's the second on the Mizzou freshman. Tomorrow afternoon on ESPN and the app, women's basketball matchup of the day. Number 2 South Carolina plays host to number 5 Vanderbilt. Vandy still undefeated at 20-0. Coverage tips at 3 Eastern, 2 Central. Don Staley's team goes into that with a record of 19-2. Key reel Ielitsantsev at the free throw line, 75% from the line of the year. Not a bad mid-season free agent pickup, huh?
It's kind of nice. A guy that's mobile, can shoot it, can rebound. Learning his way around the SEC. I had them when they beat Ole Miss. He had a few minutes. He looked good. Then I had them at Mississippi State. And he looked around playing against a Chris Jans physical team like, we didn't have this back in Serbia.
Played for the Russian national team in the top-tier Russia Club League, the United League.
Lokomotiv Kuban was his team.
Stone to Barrett. Barrett, line shot, tried to flip it up. You said confidence?
Wow, it almost went in.
Jones flips it into the corner. Already established, Reed locks it there, but he's going to drive on Stone. Fade away. Mitchell tipped it up, and Barrett found the rebound. T.O. Barrett is having a whale of a game today. Randall got it caught deep and bailed out with the foul. Davis picks up the foul. Back to Columbia in just a moment. It was the game where Norm Stewart fell ill on the flight to Norman. And eventually, through his battle against cancer, he started Coaches versus Cancer. They've raised over $179 million since the early 90s. I think that alone should have Norm Stewart in the Hall of Fame.
No doubt. His coaching should have him in, but you add that to it, there's no doubt he should be in the Hall of Fame.
You know, I used to go to Norm's basketball camps. He used to show up and do some shooting exhibitions. I remember when I was in junior high, they had a hard time getting the players, the campers, and the coaches to show up for 8 o'clock start time. So he hired an aerobics instructor, get on stage and start the day with calisthenics.
Yeah,
he picked the right one. Nobody was late.
That's terrific. He didn't do that for us when I played for him. Not a lot of aerobics warming up.
Jump ball in Oklahoma takes possession.
Yeah, think of the battles that Coach Stewart had with the Sooners of Oklahoma. Billy Tubbs obviously being the most because both coaches so animated.
I love your point you made earlier this game that Oklahoma was always the program with the first name guys.
And Missouri last name except the head coach, first name guy.
Oklahoma turnover. That's their 7th. SEC Network Tuesday night men's doubleheader features Georgia playing host to Tennessee 7 Eastern, and then number 17 Alabama plays host to Missouri. Also available on the app.
You know, Tom, you go Tuesday night down to do a game in Oklahoma.
If we can get there. And I say we
right?
because they get, first time in Illinois.
Maybe you just fly with the Sooner team.
Do you think they'll stick around for the game tomorrow, too? Missouri's playing A&M.
Oh, I forgot you're working tomorrow.
Yeah. The women's side on the SEC Network.
They hope they don't have to stay for a couple days in Columbia, but they might be practicing right here.
Might end up at Ragtag Cinema later tonight. Here's Stone.
Matchup zone defense, pretty good.
Challenge 3 with the seconds dwindling. Another board for Mizzou. It's Mitchell. Boateng in the game for the first time travels with it.
You know, when you watch the game today, because there's so many three-point shots taken, many more longer rebounds, and the lack of what guys they don't block out deep, you turn and kind of go, like if you're 18 feet from the bucket, you think I'll turn and go. But that ball keeps getting deeper on these missed shots.
A third of Missouri's attempts have come from deep. Meanwhile, 12 of 21 of OU's attempts have been three-point attempts.
Again, if you dance with the ball in front of Anthony Robinson, he's going to take it. He's going to bother you. You can't get in offensive sets.
Brown was a little banged up after that last play, but back up and going, and Jones knocks it down. Sooners back ahead by 2. Mitchell and Barrett have been the leaders on the offensive end for Missouri today.
They'll play off Mitchell. They want him to drive it because he doesn't shoot a lot of jump shots. The problem is he moves so well, and his angles are so good when he attacks. You get caught, and you can't get caught, but you will. If you try to reach, Mitchell's going to get contact.
It's a third personal on Tay Davis. And Mitchell back to the free throw line. This will be his 5th free throw attempt of the game.
You know, last year Missouri was 3rd in the NCAA at free throw attempts per game, 2nd in makes. Different this season. They're 11th in free throw attempt in the SEC and 14th in makes. They do not shoot a high percentage from the free throw line. Only as a team 68%.
Dennis Gates talked about that this week. We've got to do a better job of getting to the line. It changes the entire game.
And if you get there and if you make them, if you're in the 74-75% area, they probably have 3 more wins. They might be 6-0 and not 3-3.
Dennis Gates said we got to play over 500 the next couple of weeks, and that makes this home matchup with Oklahoma a pivotal game for Missouri. They did not do much damage in the non-conference with losses to Notre Dame, Kansas, and Illinois. Here's steal by Barrett, 1 to shoot. The Sooners don't get it off. In fact, they step on the sideline.
What a defensive possession by Missouri. One-on-one, man-on-man, just guard your guy and keep him out of the paint, and they did it. They did it against Brown. They did it against Reed. Nowhere to go for Reed. Tried to sneak one in, but T.O. Barrett alert again.
Cruz hiding in the corner for Missouri. Mitchell with the drive. Takes it himself. And why not? Pretty. He's tied with Stone for the team lead with 11.
Tough to defend. His ability on the offensive end.
Pack working on Barrett. Oh, and it goes.
Was that McGee underneath that pulled the hand away? Almost
yeah, I think
touched
so.
it.
And a Missouri turnover. It got away between Mitchell and Barrett. Oklahoma will try to head into the locker room with the halftime lead.
I don't know this feeling, Tom, but I think it would be very difficult for a big to not touch this ball when you're right there.
Ooh. Smart. Here's Pack. Sooners going to use the clock. Back to Brown. 5 on the shot clock. 19-footers short. And Mitchell with the rebound. And the Tigers will have a 1 second, maybe 1.5 second difference in the shot in the game clock. And Dennis Gates will use a timeout. 22.9 remaining in the first half. We got a 1-point game. Back to Columbia in just a moment.
You know, interesting, we've got bad weather in Texas, we know that, but they also have the virus that Sean Miller talked about, the virus of fouling in all areas of the court. So I'm hoping the virus got over today against Georgia.
When he went on the rampage, we foul him in the half court. We foul him in the back. That was fantastic.
Hey, I watched the Kentucky. He was accurate. They were fouling him in every possession.
20-point win for Texas over Georgia today.
Oklahoma switches a little bit of a matchup zone. They've been all man. Now they'll still stay in that zone, see how Missouri attacks it for the last shot.
Tigers trying to get the zone to move. Pierce for 3. Rims out. 4 to play. 2 on the clock. Now 1 from midcourt and bobbled and won't go. Oh. It goes, but it won't count. Wonko just lost a handle on him as he tried to gather. Derek Chivas hit a midcourt shot against Oklahoma at Hearn Center in '89 at the half.
Were you at the game?
I was there.
Good. Did you
the
throw anything
yelled
on the floor?
I did not. The Antlers yelled at Billy Tubbs, "Hey Billy, come out and play." What a great game we've had so far today. Sooners by 1. Here's Zubin back in the studio.
especially Nigel Pack, which is good to see him making jump shots.
It's an OU team that went just 1 for 13 from 3 in the second half, and they lost at the other Columbia in the midweek. Pack and Jones combined to shoot just 2 for 24 from deep of the last 3 games, so they have been able to turn that around so far today. Want to combine 2 for 3. Here's Barrett. Same starting 5 for Missouri's second half as they started the game, with Barrett starting in place of Ant Robinson at the point.
A very good first half for T.O. Barrett, 9 points.
Mitchell manipulates that one in around McGee.
How tough to defend. He's physical, strong, rarely loses the ball when he has contact, finishes right hand or left hand.
Tigers back in front and a finish on the other end.
Mentioned in the first half, Tay Davis, very good off the dribble. 6'9", can really play point position. Exceptional when he goes downhill.
The last bucket, Mitchell went over 1,500 points for his career. It's a touch from Stone. Back to Stone. And give Mark Mitchell an assist.
Pretty much put 2 guys, your 2 best players on the offensive end, on the same side of the court. One can drive it like Mitchell. When he gets stuck by 2 guys, kick it out to an excellent shooter in Stone. Easy basketball.
It's like that great shooter from Wisconsin Eau Claire, Matt Benedict. He used to teach him to shoot back in the day.
One of the best was my neighbor. His mom, Vivian, lived next door. She's the queen of the Kappa House, and Matt and I worked out all the time when I was in the NBA.
A 1-point lead for Oklahoma now. Pack is 2 for 3 from deep. Barrett behind Phillips. Stone drawing attention. And rebounded by the 5'10" Nigel Pack.
Now you got to pick up Pack quickly because he'll shoot it from deep.
Shook Cruz left it short. First of 2 meetings this season between the longtime rivals. Cruz got possession, couldn't hit the bunny. And it trickles out of bounds off of Missouri. Cruz is normally good, about 70% at the rim on the season.
Size advantage, and Pack does enough to bother him. Here's what the crowd doesn't like. Ball goes out. It's a semi-tackle, though. Old Big 8, that would have been okay. No call. Let's move the other way.
Who was the premier official back in old Big 8 days?
Oh, you're going to now try to get my memory back. That's tough.
They would have said just play on. Here's Brown.
And if you laid there for 2 seconds, Norm would have said, hey, you're coming out. We don't lay around.
Baseline jumper short. And the rebound by Phillips.
I think Jacob Cruz would like to get the tempo up, see if he could get some free looks from deep.
Mitchell fouled. In on Jones.
Defensively, Tom, if you're guarding Mitchell from the half court on, you've got to do your work earlier. You got to meet him out front. You've got to make sure he doesn't get set where he wants to get set. If he does catch it where he wants to catch it, you're in trouble.
Phillips got the register running pretty hot after that. Cruz is letting the officials know. Cruz was involved in some pushing and shoving at the end of the Georgia loss. Phillips in that same game went chest to chest with Santos Surreal. Emotions running high for Missouri.
I think the temperature gets pretty hot for Phillips, just watching from where we sit, game in, game out.
Mitchell at the free throw line.
But I will say this, his last 2 or 3 ball games, Phillips has really been good.
How odd is it, though, that the 7-footer is not at the lane for the free throw attempt? In fact, Missouri only has 1 guy on the lane.
Less distance to run back on top. You don't want to have to run all the way down.
That is chess versus checkers. 5th lead change this half alone. Mitchell and Stone carrying the scoring load for Missouri. Balance attack for Oklahoma. Nobody into double figures. And Robinson gets whistled for the hand check. His second.
It's an easy call right in front of the official. We told you about Nate Robinson is a physical type guard on both ends of the floor, really. When he's offense, sometimes he can beat you up. Defensively, great with the feet, great with the hands. He's guarding a good one in Brown.
Thompson back on the floor for OU, offers a screen for Pat. Ball fake on Stone.
And good help by Stone. Weak side came all the way across.
Pack with 6 on the shot clock. Got it.
Man, tough shot. Barrett right in his face, but that's the Nigel Pack we've seen for many years.
Robinson uses the Phillips screen. Into the corner for Barrett. Couple of pump fakes. Step through and left it short. That was on the scouting report talking with Porter Moser last night. Jones, we got a whistle away from the ball. Jones is looking to drive, and they're going to get Sean Phillips Jr. How about Nigel Pack?
Well, those of us who've watched him over the years, Kansas State, Miami, now at Oklahoma, he's got the ability off the dribble to, if he gets half his body ahead of you a little bit, he'll then back up, back into you, and then work his way to get what he'd rather shoot, and that's a jump shot. He's got a good mid-range game, great distance game. Doesn't necessarily finish a ton at the rim. Good hands, I think, by Mitchell. I think got a piece of that on the inbounds pass.
Mack on the floor for the first time for Missouri. Mitchell dumped it inside to Randall. The freshman ran into the rim. It'll be, Missouri basketball off of Oklahoma.
Eliatanza might have gotten a block on Randall's shot.
Sebastian Mack did not see action in the first half for Missouri. He had a productive game in the loss to Georgia. Saw more playing time than he had in the previous 2 weeks.
Transfer from UCLA. He's a downhill player. Likes to attack the rim. Averaged 10 points a game over his 2 years in UCLA.
What a feed. Oh, no finish. Oklahoma denies Missouri at the rim. Tigers have missed their last 5. Driving a kick, and they share one ball. No good.
Pretty good break for the Sooners. Got a good look, got a good shot.
And Jones fouls the driving Sebastian Mack. Second on Jadon Jones. We got a 1-point game in Columbia.
His thing is a point guard position for the Commodores. Tom Boomer Bain was the official.
Ah, gotcha.
Bud Epps, one of the legendary trainers here at the University of Missouri, and then with the Kansas City Chiefs, texted me. How could you not remember Boomer Bain? Well, I just didn't. But he did.
People like you to remind me. Another one coming for the junior from Chicago, Sebastian Mack. Plays high school ball in Nevada and then UCLA. And Missouri's got Trent Burns on the floor, 7'5" sophomore. Porter Moser, we were talking last night, he's known Dennis Gates for a long time, and he said, you know, one of the hardest things about coaching against Gates is the rotations are entirely unpredictable. And that's what we're seeing now with Burns on the floor for the first time in a 1-point game.
And they go to that matchup zone defense. You put 7-5 underneath the basket.
Eliatanza with the turnaround.
And that's how you beat it. Burns late to respond. Eliatanza, easy bucket.
Now what do you do with Burns on this side of the floor?
Well, they got him in the corner. You saw him hit a 3 against, was it Florida at the end of that?
Yeah. Just beat the buzzer. And Missouri's best win of the season, especially with what Todd Golden's team has done since.
And Dennis Gates and his staff would love to see Sebastian Mack get his offensive game going.
Good communication from Mack. Brown lost it with the screen. Jones off the mark, and offensive rebound results in a Missouri foul. I finally saw it on the Jones jump shot. You're right. That
about 3 feet, isn't it? Yeah. I mean, it is.
If he were a long jumper, he'd scratch every time. Burns commits the foul. And Darren Reed going to the free throw line. Darren Reed has really turned it up, Sonny. 7 of his highest scoring games in his career have come in the last 14 Oklahoma games. It seems like he's got a really high ceiling.
Exceptional talent. 6'8", 225, 230, can shoot it, can go off the bounce.
McDonald's All-America coming out of prolific prep by way of Grovetown, Georgia, and he's one of the top recruits in Alabama history as a McDonald's All-America, now one of 10 in Oklahoma history.
You know, not everybody walks from a McDonald's All-American and in this star situation in college basketball. Reed played well, got injured a few times at Alabama last year, but his, like you said, ceiling's way up there, continues to get better.
Mack. And Reed's got the rebound. Pack pushes it up the court. Back to Brown.
Now they put Burns in a screen and roll. Can he get back in the play?
And rebound tipped out of bounds by Oklahoma. Coming up tonight on ESPN, men's basketball quintuple header finishes up with TCU taking on Baylor in the Big 12, 6 Eastern, 5 Central. The night captains for 17 Bama playing host to Tennessee at Coleman Coliseum. It started here in the Midwest, 10 a.m. with Kentucky getting a home win against Ole Miss. What a day of college basketball.
Great day of college basketball. Now weather everywhere, so be protective of where you are. But strap up against the TV because we're here.
Burns didn't get it up. Mitchell trying to pay it off. The end of the shot clock. Burns kept it alive. By the way, the win for Oklahoma today, or pardon me, for Kentucky. Cats have now won 9 of 11 since getting blown out by Gonzaga. Foul came before Burns redirected that thing.
Tommy, what's your feel about Kentucky? I mean, they've won some games, come back.
I think the depth, lack thereof, is going to continue to be an issue. Otega Oweh played well for him today. Colin Chandler playing extended minutes. Point guard out for the year. And the big man inside has missed a ton of time. That foul goes against Jones. It's his 3rd. But they have an aura about them, right? Just
yeah,
the uniform, the building.
They do. And the games they've come back to win when you look like they weren't going to win changes the season for players and coaches and a fan base.
Came back from down 17 to knock off Tennessee. Xavier Brown strokes them both in. And Oklahoma's got a 3-point lead. The largest lead of the afternoon for the Sooners.
I love the matchup. Tay Davis, 6'9", defensively against Jaden Stone. Stone the scorer. Tay Davis exceptional on the defensive end.
And Davis playing with 3 personal fouls.
And because of his length, Stone couldn't get that jump shot up.
Robinson created some space, put up an air ball from 12 feet. Back to Brown. Brown slides his way in and saves it off the rim.
How about the strength to get the shot up after he had already Euro set?
Tigers just won for their last 9. Oklahoma has built its largest lead of the game.
A rare fast break for this Sooner squad this afternoon. But when you push it up the floor, you've got a guy like Brown, the Euro, and then the spin. Sooners have built a 5-point lead.
Well, we're learning what Brown can do for you. Xavier Brown is on quite a tear coming into this game, and he's kept it going. 3 of 5 shooting for 11 points so far.
Well, Missouri has kept him somewhat quiet because you mentioned only the 5 field goal attempts. But don't be surprised when they beat Ole Miss the game I was doing. He had 3 points in the first half. He had 19 in the second. So don't be surprised when Xavier Brown continues to try to score the ball.
2 years ago, he was the Atlantic 10 Rookie of the Year at St. Joe's, and also the Big 5 Rookie of the Year, first team A-10 last year. Gave St. Joe's 18 points a game.
And his dad, one of the assistants on Porter Moser's bench.
Here's Mitchell. Great passer, finds Cruz. And then a foul goes against Oklahoma. Yelatonsev commits his second.
Dennis Gates has mentioned, even in the couple losses they've had, they're getting the shots that they want. They've not knocked them in, and that was a perfect example. Cruz on a wide open look.
Phillips just threw a massive chicken wing on Yelatonsev, displacing Mitchell. It's another. He's got a 17-point game today. That ends a 6-0 Oklahoma run. Cruz hits the deck. Oh my goodness. Davis, wow, he just cocked that thing back like he was going to drop the hammer.
And no whistle of anything.
That's an aggressive take.
What do you think?
Could have been a whistle. Instead, he throws it out of bounds with Missouri basketball. Porter Moser is. Looks like he's going to challenge this. Well, this would be appeal. He's saying that my guy got hit in the face. And you can use an appeal to have them go to the monitor to see if it should have been a flagrant. And if you're wrong, it'll cost you a timeout.
So many of the coaching staffs have guys behind the bench that are looking quickly at a pad, Apple iPad, whatever, to see.
An appeal has been made by
it's kind of why coaches jump up quickly, because they're looking. Someone from the bench probably said, yeah, he got hit.
Yeah. We'll take another look at it when we return. Oklahoma leading by 3. Moser on a play that occurred on Oklahoma's side of the floor with Sean Phillips taking the elbow to the chest.
The appeal by Oklahoma is unsuccessful. They will be charged a timeout.
Thank you, Joe Lindsay. So OU down to 2. Here's what they were looking at, and the ruling was that the contact was made through the chest, not above the shoulders and to the head. And so the only damage done is Porter Moser loses a timeout. He was able to go back to that previous possession because there hadn't been a dead ball yet. So he's very specific about the play that he wanted to appeal. An appeal is different than a challenge.
And Tom, it's a worldwide game because the big Russian, he flopped also. It's just not our country that flopped.
Can we get NBA TV back in Siberia? Cruz, size advantage on Pack. They've been trying to post him up. Here's Mitchell. Back to Stone. 6 in the shot clock. Mitchell in the corner. Not his shot. Barrett fires from deep. Shot that one from Festus on the map. Here we go the other way. Sooners just 1 for 4 from 3 in the second half. Pack make it 1 for 5.
Wow. Was not a good look or release by Pack.
A run on Mitchell, leaves Cruz, top of the key, and a foul with the ball in the air. They're going to get Phillips for the shove. Yelatonsev may have taken a shot to the face. So Phillips, as of now, picks up a personal foul. I believe the ball was already out of Cruz's hands, so they'll count the jump.
The last time might have been across the chest. This might not be. The way Yelatonsev went down and the way he looks.
Here's another look at it. Underneath, and certainly occurred after the ball was released. That's a big old mitt to slap you across the side of the face.
Wow. Yeah, a lot of work inside by Elia Townsend to block off Phillips. And Missouri got, finally got Cruz on a good look. Out top straight away. Similar to the play they ran towards the end of the game against Georgia, which Cruz hit to give the Tigers a 1-point lead before your guy Smurf made a 3-point play to win that game for Georgia.
Seemed fairly straightforward. Should be a flagrant one on Phillips.
I think so, yes.
And they may be discussing whether or not the basket was good. So Anthony Jordan will help us out. And Missouri's tied it at 52. Here's
After review, the common foul has been upgraded to a flagrant 1 foul on 15 white. 15 red will shoot 2 shots, and it'll be red ball on the end line.
Let me ask you something. If you're Sean Phillips and you're aware that Porter Moser 2 minutes ago appealed you chucking the guy on this end of the floor 2 possessions prior, would you be a little less violent?
You're saying, you're asking me that Phillips knew that they were reviewing. You're assuming that Phillips knew they were reviewing that play prior. So I don't know.
You get caught with your hand in the cookie jar once,
correct.
Probably don't go back there, at least for a few possessions.
Yeah, you'd hope not.
75% from the free throw line. And Oklahoma will have possession after those 2. Tomorrow on ESPN and the ESPN app. It's a women's matchup of the day. Second-ranked South Carolina plays host to undefeated and number 5 Vanderbilt. Coverage tips at 3 Eastern, 2 Central. Vandy 20-0.
And only number 5.
Yeah.
Come on.
Here's Brown. Pack loses Stone, picked up by Mitchell. 10 on the shot clock.
And McGee not an outside shooter. That's why he didn't look to take that shot when he had it open.
Brown can't shake Barrett.
Shot
3 to shoot. And stepped on the end line. Empty possession for Oklahoma.
The 2-point guards for Oklahoma. T.O. Barrett and Robinson, both exceptional on-ball defenders. So again, I'll go back. If you sit on the dribble, you're in trouble. Offense gets stagnant. You're not making the Missouri defensive team move as much.
Oklahoma shot 50% in the first half. That has dipped to less than 42% in the second half. Should be a good scoring matchup lineup on the floor for Missouri right now.
Yeah, their best shooters when you've got Cruz, Pierce, Stone on the outside.
Jacob Cruz with his second 3 this half.
And Tom, that keeps the defense spread. You really can't help out much. If you do just a little bit, Cruz and Pierce will make you pay.
Oh, that one goes for Jadon Jones.
Joe Lindsey right on it. Oklahoma wanted a foul on that release. Didn't give it to him.
Cruz hit from the left corner a moment ago. He shoots 70% from the left corner. We got Pierce over there now. And a whistle against Oklahoma.
Again, when you've got a guy like Cruz, a catch-and-release player, just a little bit of space. Jadon Jones was on him, and you've got to honor the fact that Mark Mitchell's sitting there on the post. So you've got a shade to him, but Cruz as a shooter doesn't need much time.
There's a second personal on Wankwo. Reed guarding Mitchell now. And Mitchell just muscles him up to receive the inbound. Cruz on the move. Mitchell for 3. Near turnover for OU.
And Cruz went down, might have got hit in the mouth. Oklahoma had numbers.
Pack fires it home.
He's not going to quit shooting.
0 for 7 from 3 last time out. 3 for 6 from deep today.
He has made a lot of threes in his career, so why hesitate to shoot it? Ooh, forearm by Barrett on his dribble.
Stone takes it right at Oklahoma and draws the foul.
You know, Jones was right there perfectly set to take a charge, and he didn't take it. He had come over weak side help. Easily could have just braced up, taken the charge from Stone. Did not.
So Stone at the free throw line. Hey, pretty neat ceremony today. I know weather kept a lot of people away, but honoring former Missouri letterman.
Good to see him, a few of them back. Guys I played with, Mark Dressler was there.
I would guess of the guys that were here, probably 90% of them played for Norm Stewart.
They did, yes.
The timeline.
Yeah.
Another one coming for Stone. Norm watching today. You know, Missouri lost to Illinois in St. Louis this year. Got blown out. It was the largest loss in the history of that rivalry. And I was told that Norm placed a call to Dennis Gates after that game. So when I saw Gates before the Florida game, I said, hey, there's Barrett with the putback, got the offensive rebound. I said, how'd that phone call with Norm go? I said, sometimes things are best kept among friends.
Well, Coach Stewart was on a couple of games on the other side of those kind of lopsided games. It happens.
Rejected. Phillips got a piece of it. Numbers from Missouri. Stone fans it out. Oklahoma clinging to a 1-point lead.
And it looks like Stone wants a shot.
Here's Pierce. Cruz lost his headband and a chance at the rebound. Oklahoma basketball.
How about the rebound by Barrett? Strong, physical, not afraid, takes it away and lays it in.
They told him about it. Porter Moser talked after the South Carolina game that they were really struggling and needed to step up the interior defense. Well, Missouri's got 14 second chance points today, and the Tigers are +9 on the glass.
Porter's going to make a call to Nate Oates and said, how did you get that former guy back? I've got a couple somewhere we can find. You went to which judge in which location?
Yeah, Charles Bediako made this play for Alabama tonight. Nate Oates in his press conference yesterday said, well, we're going to follow the court orders. And my initial reaction was, the court's not ordering you to play him.
That's right. That's right.
It's a third on Ant Robinson. Pack working on Barrett and drew the whistle. 9 on the shot clock. You have 2 shots coming.
Now the one thing Nigel Pack hasn't lost confidence in, even though the jump shot's not going, the free throw line, 84%. His ability off the dribble to get contact only at 5'10", and going against maybe a more physical and a bigger, stronger T.O. Barrett. But Pack, he's not going to back down. He's been through a lot of contests.
Started 24 times for Kansas State as a freshman. As a sophomore, first team all Big 12. He has started now 141 of 142 career games. College game, we joke about the Bediako situation, but the college game has gotten older. Started with an extra COVID year, and it has continued.
And because of the money being paid, Tom, why would you go if you're not an NBA guy? Pays a lot more than the G League or anywhere else.
Stone for 3. And knocked out of bounds. It will stay on this side of the ball. 61-58, Oklahoma with the lead. The Sooners have knocked down 9 threes today. Missouri trying to answer of their own. Tigers have hit 4. And we've got a 3-point game with 7:55 to play in this old rivalry matchup. A road win at Minnesota today. Nebraska now 20-0.
And if my research is correct, I don't believe the Huskers have ever won an NCAA tournament game.
That's correct. They and Northwestern were the last 2 holdouts. Northwestern went on a run a few years ago He got ins first. There's Anthony Robinson among the power team.
I love that Houston team. Kingston Fleming's the freshman. Fabulous. Kelvin Sampson, one of the great legendary coaches for the Sooners. Took them to the Final Four in 02.
Here's Pack from the corner, and he drains it. 4-point Oklahoma lead.
Nobody on Pack, not even close in range, and good assists by Brown.
5 times this Oklahoma program has made it to the Final Four. Robinson dumps it down low, and Stone finishes.
I tell you what, Missouri has scored unbelievably well around the rim. They have just pounded it inside.
Yeah, but the three-point shooting, rustier than the rocket slide at Cosmo Park. Pack draws the whistle.
A little more solid this afternoon, and a little more common for Nigel Pack. Catch, release, elevation on the shot. The arc is high. That's how he always releases it. 4 of 7 beyond the three-point line.
As a jump shooter yourself, did your arc change based on the defender?
No, well, if a guy's running at you, it might have to adjust. You never, if a guy was in front of you, Tom, and you're a great shooter and they're running at you, it never really bothered you. You just had to adjust. Sometimes they might time it differently than you thought, and they might get a piece, but rarely.
Pack's got a game-high 19.
It was the guys that jumped beside you, and you didn't know where their hand was, that you thought you had to adjust the basketball.
Outside of your line of vision.
Yeah, if the hand was to the side of your head, you had no idea where it was. If it's in front of it, you could pick them apart.
Sooners go with the 2-2-1 again.
That's why my coaches were never happy. I would jump at a shooter to the side of them, and they'd say, see, you can't even block him out. I was heading the other way.
Here's Barrett downhill. Missouri guards are just driving with abandon. It's like speeding down Rock Quarry when it's covered in snow.
And that's the type that Pack will probably mention to the official that, you know, how would you like me to really guard that? Because I'm just alongside.
Yeah.
You know, Barrett made all the contact. Took his body in the defender. But again, a challenge now for Nigel Pack, Xavier Brown, is how do you keep Robinson, Barrett, Stone away from just laying it in?
Barrett has performed well in his first career start. 5 boards to go with 13 points. Hunter Boateng returns for Mizzou.
Yeah, Boateng, good athlete, solid on defense, has not done much in a couple years for the offensive end. Did not play in the Georgia game.
He's a top 100 recruit, the highest recruit signed by Missouri since Michael Porter Jr. Brown dumps it down. And one. And Davis going to the line.
Mismatch down low for Tay Davis. Transfer from Notre Dame. 6'9" against 6'5" Stone, and Stone held his ground for a while, but Davis patient, understands angles, get the body into him, wait, use his length to score over the top.
Played for his dad, Dre, at Warren Central in Indianapolis before going to Seton Hall and then stop over in South Bend for a couple. Mitchell knocked away.
Good play by Jones, but telegraphed by T.O. Barrett. Easy to read.
Brown draws the whistle on Barrett, which is his second. Missouri's other point guard, Anthony Robinson, has 4 personal.
There's an eternity left in this game, Tom. 6:04. But can Oklahoma, with the combination of their 2 guards out front, can they control the pace? Can they make sure they get good shot attempts every time down? And if they're in bonuses like they are now, can Brown and Pack control the ball, get contact, get to that free throw line, try to secure victory on the road?
One more coming for Brown. Only Otega Owe and Josh Hubbard have as many 20-point games in conference play in the SEC. Brown's tied with that lead with 4.
Brown's now 4 of 5 from the free throw line, 93% on the season from the foul line. amazing what the Antlers will do behind that basket.
Some of them are wearing dresses today. Perfect weather for a spaghetti strap number, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah. I've got one underneath underneath my sport coat.
Largest lead of the game for Oklahoma. The haircuts don't match the fashion choices. Sooners by 6. Missouri in danger of losing consecutive home games. And tied them up. They will not count the bucket.
Whoa. Dennis Gates.
I think it should.
Dennis Gates wants that bucket. And yeah, it does. Yeah. New rules. And players have to understand the rules. So once there's a whistle, if you're on the offense, you keep going. Defense, you hammer down. Here's the whistle here, the step by Stone, and the finish.
Good job. You like the adoption of the new rule?
I do. I think it makes it really difficult at the end of the game when guys are going to bring the ball up and maybe you're going to foul on a 3,
sure.
Not to foul them at half court. Guys could get the shot up. Matchup zone defense. Phillips in the back of this zone. You better have movement, get the ball in the middle of that floor, then find your shooter.
Got behind the backboard.
Well, I tell you what, they ran the perfect play, Tom, and Pack darn near threw it out of the building.
Got distracted by the dresses, perhaps. By the way, previous trip down, Brown committed his 3rd personal. Jadon Jones returns for Oklahoma, and he'll take Pack out. Tigers have made each of their last 3 field goal attempts. Trying to get it to Stone. Remember, Brown's got 3. Here's Barrett with the spin, step through, scoop, and it goes!
Wow, explosive. Put it in his left hand and attack, and the spin move. If you're a defender, you better drop your foot back further and catch him after the spin. They didn't. So he attacks. Here's the spin move between 2 defenders. And I believe, is that Davis's 4th, or did they not get him?
They got Davis, and indeed his 4th. So Davis has 4, Brown's got 3. Barrett's got a career-high 15 with a shrug.
And one of the top defenders now for Oklahoma will have a seat for at least a couple minutes.
For the tie. Barrett is oozing confidence right now.
Yeah. On both ends of the floor.
On their feet at Mizzou Arena. 215th meeting between these longtime conference rivals. A rivalry renewed last year. Five in the shot clock. Jones for 3. Rebounded by Phillips. Missouri looking for the lead. Pierce goes baseline. Guarded by Brown in foul trouble. And layup missed. Putback is there. The foul. Great effort by Missouri on the offensive glass. 15 offensive rebounds.
And Oklahoma got a good look, Tom, a wide open look. Jones just couldn't connect. And Missouri taking advantage of their size when there's a mismatch on size. You mentioned Brown had 4 personal fouls. Pack shorter players, and so Trent Pierce just went and attacked the rim.
Limited free throw opportunities for Pierce this year. This good chunk of the season, first 13 games.
Been kind of mind-boggling in his 3 seasons at Missouri because he is a great outside shooter, but not a good free throw shooter.
1 of 2 from the line, and Missouri's got the lead for the first time since the 10:50 mark in the second half. Tigers on a 7-0 run.
Staying in the matchup zone defense. They've got athletic guys out front and long wings with Mitchell and Pierce.
Yelatontsev inside, working on Phillips. That one skipped up the front and back of the rim.
2 possessions, 2 good looks. Nothing coming away. Advantage to Missouri.
And that's how it goes when you've lost 5 in a row.
Yep.
Barrett with the drive, went to the left. Phillips fouled on the putback attempt. If that is on Yelatontsev, that's just his 4th. Well, Missouri on a 7-0 run. Truman likes it more than Porter Moser and Dennis Gates, and Missouri looking for a bounce-back win after a heartbreaker against Georgia.
Ben, he has not settled really for any jump shots. He's putting his head down, spin moves, anything he can get to the paint. What a terrific first start of his career.
He led Edmond North in Oklahoma to back-to-back state championships in 22 and 23. He was MVP of the 23 Oklahoma State championship game and first team All-State. So Oklahoma City native facing his state school. Phillips 1 for 2 from the line today. And Oklahoma secures the rebound.
See what the Sooners drew up out of the timeout.
Ten seconds remaining on the shot clock. 5:30 on ABC. NBA Rivals Week triple header rolls on with Warriors Timberwolves, and inside the NBA pregame show at 8, followed by Lakers Mavs at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific.
Nigel Pack doing what Nigel Pack does. Deep. Man, he just pulls up.
Mitchell muscles his way inside, goes to the right. 19 for Mitchell. Missouri back ahead.
Always great to see the stars shine down the stretch.
Who will step up for OU? Davis dumps it down low. Yelatontsev gets rid of it, but turns it over, or does he? Tracked down by Brown. 7 on the shot clock. Brown, step back 3. Read the board. And the whistle. And Oklahoma taking a page out of Missouri's book with the offensive rebound.
What a powerful rebound by Darion Reed. 2 hands fighting with T.O. Barrett, but he gathered it, and the ball fake exceptional to get Phillips off his feet.
It's the 4th personal on Shawn Phillips Jr. and to the line, Darion Reed. .74% from the line this year. McGee returns for OU. Reed couldn't give him the lead. Mitchell fouled on the rebound. And walking back the other way.
They didn't get Tate Davis, or did? No. Wagee came from the other side. I was going to say that'd have been 5 on Davis.
Mitchell's got 19 points. And now 10 rebounds. His second double-double of the season, 5th of his career, and 121 games between Duke and Missouri.
And rebounding would be the thing that Mark Mitchell talks about, that he could up his average to help his team.
5 boards a game on average. Mitchell was a 5-star recruit. Kansas, UCLA, Missouri all in on him. He went Duke first. And then back to the Midwest. Yelatontsev returns for Oklahoma. 2:33 to play in a 1-point game.
A lot of minutes for Elia Tanza this afternoon. As Porter Moser said, they've had a problem at that 5 position.
Nice. And Mitchell knocks it down. Dennis Gates' team with a 2-point lead.
And defensively, if you're Missouri, don't you force Oklahoma to beat you off the dribble somewhere in a mid-range game and not allow them to toe the line and get open 3 looks.
Davis looking for Elia Thompson. Back to Brown.
Still in his own defense.
7 on the shot clock. 3 ball. Good! Xavier Brown with the 3, his 2nd of the game, and Oklahoma's got a 1-point advantage.
And what a great screen on the defender to free up Brown for the open look.
We've had 16 lead changes this half. What a thriller for these longtime rivals. Stone picks up his dribble, and Barrett will reset.
Got to keep Barrett out of the paint. That's where he does all of his work.
Driving on Davis, who's in foul trouble, lays it in around Elia Thompson.
Smart play. T.O. Barrett attacked the man with 4 personal fouls. Davis doesn't want to come out of this ball game.
22 lead changes for the game.
Missouri back man-to-man defensively.
And Porter Moser will use a timeout. His Sooners are trying to snap a 5-game losing streak. Competitive in most of those 5, and they got 124 to try to solve this riddle and end their losing streak. Tigers by 1. Feels like an old-school Big 8 classic. Missouri and Oklahoma trading the lead.
Against his own defense, set a good screen because a lot of times they can't help out defensively. Brown frees up with a 3, and then T.O. Barrett doing what we've seen him do all afternoon long. Attack the 1 defender, spin, get to the 2nd defender. They don't want to foul him again. He finishes at the rim. T.O. Barrett, 18 points, 7 from 11 from the field.
215th meeting all time between Oklahoma and Missouri. Tigers have won 7 straight at home, going back to the old gym, the Hearn Center, just across the parking lot. Here's Pack. We have less than 10 on the shot clock.
And you got to be quick because Pack will pull it in a hurry.
Davis, foul trouble. Dumps it off, 3 to shoot. Elia Thompson working on the 7-footer. Got it!
What a soft touch. Good pass from Davis. I thought Davis was going to try to finish the play.
A couple of trips ago, Elia Thompson had that same shot fall out. Here's Barrett behind the back. He's having a career game. And a whistle and a timeout taken by Dennis Gates. Missouri has turned it up on offense. Tigers have made 6 of their last 8.
And I love the defensive assignment, even though Tay Davis has 4 personal fouls, held his ground against Barrett, forcing Dennis Gates to take a timeout, let them draw up the play, see what they can come up with coming out of it.
Similar situation that Missouri had against Georgia Tuesday night when they ran a play for Cruz, who put them ahead.
They ran a play for Cruz to go to his right for that open shot up top. You had mentioned it. He's pretty good from up top shooting 3s.
This is towards the tail end. That gave Missouri the lead. Smurf Millender won it for Georgia on this and won against Phillips. And the last second shot for Cruz came up short. And Missouri trying to execute with under 5 seconds left in the game. Back-breaking home loss.
I think if you're T.O. Barrett, because you're learning a little bit, you'd probably bring it at a faster pace than what he did. He walked it up. You only had 1 option. I thought down 2. Take it as far as you can, probably at the rim. You're probably not going to get fouled. If you do, you get free throws. If you go to the rim, finish the play, you go to overtime and you're at home court, usually win that game.
That's 29 minutes. We've had 12 ties and 23 lead changes. Where did the Tigers go in the half?
Well, obviously the key's been Barrett getting to the paint. Mitchell's always a guy that gets a touch because you have to figure out how to keep him away from the rim.
And he's a great passer. Phillips looking inside. Here's Pierce.
Wow, they missed him early. Missed him early. Pierce made the cut. Wide open. Phillips hesitated. Hesitation gets a turnover.
And Tay Davis steals it for Oklahoma. Sooners leading by 1. Xavier Brown, ball in his hands. Gets the screen, gets into the paint. 7 on the shot clock. Back outside, 4 to shoot. Jones for 3, it's short. And the rebound corralled by the Sooners. shot clock violation, though. The three never hit the rim. And so Missouri down one with 20.5 remaining, and it looks like they're going to double check the clock.
Well, it could have been a jump ball. That's why they're probably going to check. Although I don't know if they whistled for a jump ball. Did the ball ever hit the rim, Tom, after the
three
Jones shot?
No. But how about Oklahoma with a couple of massive offensive rebounds in the last couple of minutes? Here's the forced three over Mitchell.
Outstanding defense by Mitchell. Does not get there, did it?
No, I don't think so. I think it hit the...
Here's what I first thought. I thought maybe there was a jump ball before.
Game clock reset to 21.2.
So the look was for the game clock, and with 21.2, Missouri will have it 94 feet away from the lead.
Terrific help and recover by Missouri on the defensive end. You thought Brown had a lane, they shut it off. He made a pass, another pass, missed shot.
When does Missouri want to shoot this? Keep in mind the Tigers have 16 offensive rebounds.
Well, I think you attack right away. I mean, you run what you want to run to get the shot you want to run. You don't have to run the clock down. As you mentioned, last game, Cruz, who's right in front of us, hit the big one. Barrett off the dribble. In the corners, you got Pierce, outstanding shooter. Cruz, outstanding shooter. Stone, fabulous score. Mark Mitchell, fabulous score. Best offensive lineup on the floor for Missouri. The key has been Tay Davis at 6'9", guard T.O. Barrett, not to let him get in the paint. And his length maybe can deflect a pass. He had the last interception.
15 to play. Here's Barrett. Mitchell gives him a screen. 10 on the clock. Mitchell going to work. The lefty goes with his right. It falls off. Oklahoma got its hands on the rebound with 5.6 left.
Wow, got the look they wanted. And give credit to Muhammad Wagi, who has not really had a lot of minutes. Defensively had to chest up Mark Mitchell, force him to make a difficult shot. Now, we've seen Mitchell make these kind all the time.
Yep.
Right hand sits on the rim. And how about the rebound from Darion Reed? Or was it Tay Davis?
Yep. And Davis set the free throw line to 65%.
So, Tom, last two defensive plays by Oklahoma. Tay Davis knocks it away for the steal, then gets a defensive rebound the second possession.
.6 left. Best Missouri can do is a tie. Two main three-point shooters to be on the floor will be Pierce and Cruz. And Stone, a great scorer as well. Let's see what Dennis Gates draws up.
Let's go back to Georgia. They ran Cruz off the left side to come around. He got the first one to take the lead, and then the game winner, they pushed him further away. Same kind of a play. I think they'll go a different direction since Oklahoma saw that twice against Georgia.
Dennis Gates likes to get really creative in the clock, in the game situations. Is there any reason to go away from the guys we just outlined?
I mean, you've got options because you've got such good shooters with Pierce, Cruz, and Stone. So you've got options. If you're going to use one to come off and they make jump, you're going to see Oklahoma switch everything. If I'm Oklahoma, I am surrounding that three-point line and letting everything go inside. I mean, I'm not having one defensive player inside the three-point line anywhere.
Last year, in an upset against #1 Kansas here in this building, Mark Mitchell hit a big three late in the game to give Missouri the lead in what had turned into a tight contest. Barrett is 0 for 1 from 3. So if you're going to go the unconventional route, it would probably be Mitchell or Barrett.
So Barrett is 2 for 16 on the season. Probably wouldn't go to his strength.
Right.
Again, I think Oklahoma is going to make Missouri. They got 5.5 seconds. Get it up the floor. Take some time to get up the floor.
And do you foul?
You can. You know what? Here's the hard part. You got too much time. Here's the tricky part of fouling. Let's say if you're at half court and a guy puts his arms in a continuation, you get 3 free throws. It's very tricky. Now, coaches practice it, but very tricky.
Sooners pick up full court. They put a man on the ball. Pierce to inbound. Here's Barrett. Past midcourt, gives it up. Pierce from the logo. Got it! Pierce at the buzzer sends us to overtime. So many thrillers between these programs over the last 100+ years. How about another?
So you have one of your best shooters trail the play. T.O. Barrett makes a pass, and the smart play by Trent Pierce to trail it, to be available, to be seen. And nobody from Oklahoma was there, but you don't want to pick up a foul and watch Trent Pierce line it up right on the money.
First field goal of the game for Pierce. 5 minutes of overtime on the other side of this break.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, I'm assuming he ran back. There he is. Here's the double team. The problem I always see is, why would any defender be inside the three-point line? Like anybody, just stand all 5 guys around. It doesn't matter. But let's be honest. Well defended. They trapped him. And you know what? Trent Pierce hit a big-time shot.
Pierce is from Tulsa, makes his first bucket of the game, the 6'10" sharpshooter. And Barrett from Oklahoma City is having a career night. Dudes from the Sooner State in the home white. We will jump for the second time. Phillips and Wagee.
And why would we want to go outside? It's cold out there, Tom. Let's have another 5 minutes here. See what happens.
Remember, Tay Davis in foul trouble for Oklahoma. He's got 4. Here's Brown. Brown's got 15, 6 in the shot clock now. Got it right back. 17-footer, short. Mitchell. Remember, Mitchell missed a little baseline shot from about 5 feet that could have given Missouri the lead. And it's second to last possession. Stone off the curl. And Phillips goes to the hardwood. Here comes Oklahoma the other way. 4 on 3. Barrett tipped it from behind. Saved by OU.
Good play by Pack to get up with the basketball. If he lays down there and they get a jump ball possession, Missouri. Pack rolled, got it right to a teammate. Shot clock.
Set 1. And a foul on the 3. It'll send Brown to the free throw line for 3. It's the 3rd on T.O. Barrett.
So let's see Barrett's hand, arm. Boom.
Touched ball initially. May have gotten the elbow.
It's his second miss this afternoon from the free throw line. 93% free throw shooting.
2 misses today. As you mentioned, he had 5 misses all season coming in. Xavier Brown knocks down 2 out of 3.
Big key for the team on the road to get an early lead in overtime. Keep the crowd at bay for a while. 2-3 zone.
Pierce back to Stone. Barrett dumps it to Mitchell. 9 on the shot clock. Mitchell nearly walked with it. Whoa, somehow Pierce got free but blew it. And now Barrett draws the foul.
Yeah,
and Theo Barrett going back to the free throw line.
Pierce misses an easy one, but then Oklahoma did not secure the basketball. Both of these teams in the course of the last few ball games have had trouble with defensive rebound.
Heavy legs?
No, just not securing the ball.
So Barrett to the free throw line. He's already having a career game. 19 points for Theo Barrett. The trio, Barrett, Stone, and Mitchell, have scored 60 of Missouri's 82. Oklahoma clings to a 1-point advantage.
Key for the Sooners on the offensive end are Brown and Tate Davis with the basketball. They create the activity.
Stone gambled. And now Reed back to Brown, and that one's short. Mitchell, a locomotive, got pushed off track by Brown. Fourth at Xavier Brown.
You know, spacing on the offensive end. Brown last time down. Brown kicks it. This is the that's a call that you look if you're Porter Moser and think, man, oh man. All Brown's trying to do is get out of the way of a big power forward trying to beat him. Missouri, I think, got away with a call there. I was going to say last time down when Brown penetrated, his guys from the left side both went in. Nobody's like he would have made a pass for an open shooter.
Mitchell makes one of two. Pack's been the leading scorer for Oklahoma. He's got 23. He waits in the left corner. Here he is off a screen into the paint. Pull-up jumper. Good.
Wow, tough shot. Good screen by Elia Tanza to get Pack free, but a tough shot around two Missouri defenders.
Missouri has won 7 straight at home against Oklahoma. And the Sooners trying to snap a 5-game losing streak. Barrett dances with it, 10 on the shot clock.
Tate Davis guarding Barrett.
Stone, pump fake, step through off the side of the backboard, and Brown gets it back. Sooners lead by 2. Trent Pierce hit a buzzer-beating 3 to send us to overtime. Pack mid-range jumper. Stone got high to get that one. Looking for Phillips. Here's Mitchell.
And Phillips not a great score away from the bucket, just around the rim.
85-83, Oklahoma with the lead in overtime. Woo! What a thriller today in Columbia. Nigel Pack has had a monster game for Oklahoma. He's got 25. Hits some big shots late. Theo Barrett, Oklahoma kid, having a career afternoon. 19 points on 7 of 11 shooting. Here's how we got to overtime. Trent Pierce, only bucket of the game.
Fabulous way to have your only bucket. Took the ball out, trailed the play. And Oklahoma has hung in there, and not only that, has had the lead since the start of this overtime.
And the fans who braved the winter weather and the icy roads to get to Mizzou Arena have been treated to a thrill. Porter Moser isn't sure that Oklahoma will be able to fly back to Norman tonight. He admitted that if they get the win, he doesn't mind if they stay for a couple of days. That's how desperate they are to find one. 5-game losing streak. Pierce on the inbounds, and now Barrett. Missouri hadn't made a bucket in overtime, 0 for 3. Barrett threw it away. Stone was cutting back door, but then stopped his route. And with 109, Oklahoma has a chance to make it a 2-possession game.
So watch Stone stop, but I'm not sure it would have connected if he'd have kept going. It seemed quite wide.
12th turnover of the game for Missouri. It's the first, though, for Missouri in the second half for overtime.
Nice to have a guy like Brown on your team as a lead guard out front. When you pick up your dribble, you're in trouble. Keep your bounce.
Brown, 7 on the shot clock. They flew by, kicks it to the wing. 4 to shoot. Now with 2, 3 rimmed out. Cruz with the rebound. Tigers can take the lead. And timeout, Dennis Gates.
Interesting. I kind of thought when you got attack, be more in an attack mode because Oklahoma wasn't back defensively. Jadon Jones kind of fought the offensive rebound for Oklahoma, and I thought, okay, if they push, if Missouri pushes an attack, and when you get a Mark Mitchell out on the floor, tough to defend.
So Sooners sitting on a 2-point advantage. With so many stuck indoors today, glad we were able to bring you a thriller in this overtime matchup between longtime conference rivals.
You know, when you're on a losing streak like Oklahoma is, the 5-game, it's the little things that, you know, that ball was halfway down, that 3 by Brown, that goes in, all of a sudden now you've got a 5-point lead. Now the Sooners are asked to make another defensive stop against Missouri.
Remember, Arkansas started 0-5 in the league last year, had a great postseason run, made the tournament. Oklahoma was one of 14 SEC teams that made the NCAA tournament last year. The Sooners, if they can get a win, could maybe start an Arkansas-like turnaround. Net not doing any favors. They're looking for a quad 1 win. Missouri, on the other hand, is trying to avoid a quad 3 loss here at home to Oklahoma. Missouri, a bubble team. Outside of a major run, which would be tough to put together in the SEC, Missouri's probably going to be a bubble team or in the neighborhood from here through Selection Sunday. Right now, Lenardi's got them among the next 4 out.
And what they don't want, what Missouri does not want, is to be on that bubble when you come Selection Sunday because of the non-conference scheduling. And they did not really play anybody, beat anybody.
Stone
good
to Mitchell.
And good matchup down here.
Mitchell finds Barrett. Beautiful back cut. He's got 21, and we're tied at 85.
Nigel Pack turned his head, and he was too late getting back to the cutting Barrett. Good pass from Mitchell.
It's the first time since 2016 that Mizzou has had 3 players with 20 points. Barrett's got 21, Mitchell 22, and Stone with 20. So with the shot clock off, Oklahoma will have possession.
And Brown has dominated each possession off the bounce. There's the pass to Barrett cutting. But think offensively, Tom. Xavier Brown has dominated the basketball off the bounce and then even getting his own shot. So they'll continue probably that. Tay Davis great off the ball, and great at handling the ball. Nigel Pack, the one who's made shots, the guy that he'll come off different screens.
In this long series history, 215th meeting today, there's only been 1 double overtime game. That came in the old Big 8 Holiday Tournament in December of '74 in Kansas City. Missouri won that game 83-81. So much weight on both of these coaches, a pivotal game for either side.
Jump ball goes Missouri's way. If there's a loose ball, get your hands up.
The backcourt for Brown, 20 to play. Pack waits on the block. Brown guarded by Stone, 10 to play. Brown looking for Pack. He's guarded, 6 to play. Off balance, got it! Beautiful. 4.8 left. Here's Mitchell across midcourt for Mizzou. For the win! Yes! Mark Mitchell at the buzzer! the skid, reaches 6 for Oklahoma. Another SEC thriller. And Missouri with a pair of buzzer beaters. One at the end of regulation. And one for the win for Mitchell.
Absolutely unbelievable. The terrific move and bucket by Brown and then Mark Mitchell. 27% three-point shooter, brings it all the way down the court, and instead of continuing his way towards a basket, stops beyond the three-point line and knocks it home.
They are double-checking the clock.
After review, the basket does count. There's no time left on the game. The game is over.
Missouri sends Oklahoma to its 6th consecutive loss. Sooners will try to bounce back against Arkansas Tuesday night on ESPN. Mitchell's hit some big shots in his career.
Unbelievable. Think of the guy. He's got to run out of time. He gets his feet set, lets it go, doesn't have to think about it. Maybe that's the best way he can release a shot. Smooth. Nothing but the bottom, and Missouri wins. Wow.
Everybody in the SEC lives on the edge. There are more close games in SEC men's basketball than any other conference. And these teams trade buckets with under 5 seconds to play. Brown the lead at 4.8 and Mitchell the winner. Let's get to the Wichita in just a moment. For John Sundvold, our fantastic crew, I'm Tom Hart. Missouri escapes against Oklahoma with a buzzer beater from Mark Mitchell. On to the Roundhouse.